All right, my loves, I'm opening a brand new channel. This channel feels very intimate, very soft. It feels like this person is entering your life at a time when you least expect it. Like you were not expecting this love to enter your life when it did. Oh God, it feels so relaxing. Oh my God. You're so supportive, of course. That makes so much sense. Supportive of your creativity, supportive of your strength, but also it's as if this person's saying, hey, let me care for you too. Like, hey, I see how much you care for everyone else. I see the way that you care for the world around you. Let me care for you too. Like, let me be the one that you can fall into. Let me be the one that you can rely on. I feel like you're somebody who has never been able to trust people to, wow. You've never been able to trust people to really understand you, or like you show up in your life in such a meticulous way. You are so detail oriented. You just make things happen. You're probably a manifesting generator or manifestor generator, one of the three, for your human design. This person is going to feel like a gift straight from God, to the point where you're like, me? Like, you want to do this for me? Why? Like, it's hard for you to fully comprehend why this person would want to care for you so much. I'm gonna keep diving into this channel. This is a beautiful channel. It feels like a very relaxing energy. If you are somebody who has been on a nervous system journey lately, to the point where like you're really focusing on only relationships and like connections with people who make you feel safe and just like hold space for you, and like you're no longer allowing like the experiences that you've had in the past with people are really disruptive to the nervous system, really not supportive of your peace of mind. You've always been the one to have to be supportive of theirs. This connection feels like it's about to be so supportive of your peace of mind. So if you resonate with that and you would like to dive in deeper to this connection, the reading is already posted. My angel tarot readings are only available inside the Angel Archetype Society. So if you want to go in depth and dive in a little bit deeper, comment Angel Tarot and I will send you the link that gives you access to join. Yeah, I just like can't. Okay, you'll know this resonates for you if you are at a place where you are just ready for this person to enter your life with such a clear and fierce sense of loyalty to you, to the point where you don't have to overthink anything. You don't have to try to understand what this person is trying to offer to you. You don't have to try to figure out this person's feelings for you or their intentions to you. No, they literally have it all figured out. They have it all planned out. This is a planner energy. This is somebody who takes commitment so seriously. And this is somebody who, it feels like they were searching for you. It feels like the opposite of what it always has been for you, where in the past you were kind of searching for that person or waiting for that person to enter your life. That's what this feels like. This person is the embodiment of. Like, they have been searching for you or like waiting for somebody like you. And so it just feels so easy. It feels so natural. It feels so just harmonious. Like, it makes me want to cry for you. It makes me want to just fall asleep. Like, you're going to be sleeping in this person's arms like a baby, cuddled up close, like not even worrying about anything. Like, there's nothing for you. Oh my God, of course. This person is going to put you in your Empress energy. I had a few cards pulled out. Oh, and the Seven of Pentacles. My God, you are going to be enjoying yourself. Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. This person is very supportive of your creative journey. They don't want to take you off course. They don't want to throw you off balance. They want you to be regulated in their presence. They want you to know that, like, you don't have to do so much. You don't have to try hard at all. In fact, the less that you do, the more that you allow this person to do for you. This person is a gift. This person is coming into all of the love and the care that you've ever poured into this world is coming back to you through this person. All of it. Like, you don't have to do it alone anymore, is what's coming through. You get to be taken care of, provided for financially, mentally, emotionally, and just like restful, regulated, just a true like goddess, empress in your energy. So if this resonates for you and you want to dive in deeper to how this is going to unfold, when this is going to unfold for you, because I'm picking up on a timeline with this, and anything that you need to know about aligning with this, comment Angel Tarot, and I will send you the link that gives you access to this full in-depth reading. My readings are only available inside the Angel Archetype Society. Dear soul, if these words have reached your heart, I believe it is not by accident. Heaven brought you here for a reason. Before you leave, don't let this moment slip away. Receive this promise with faith and speak it over your life right now. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God is fighting for me. My love is being restored. My story is not over. It is only beginning. Say it again, and this time, believe every word. Let these declarations sink into the deepest places of your heart. Let them silence every lie that told you you were unwanted, abandoned, or forgotten. Let them remind you that even in the waiting, God has been working behind the scenes. Every tear you've cried has been seen. Every silent prayer has been heard. Every promise spoken over your life is still alive. Walk into tomorrow with hope instead of fear, because the God who began this story is faithful to finish it. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. If this message has touched your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you love. Somewhere, someone is carrying a heavy heart, wondering if anyone sees their pain. Your share could become the very answer to the prayer they've been whispering through their tears. One simple click could remind them that they are loved, chosen, and never alone. And if you feel God placing it on your heart to support this ministry, you can do so through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or whatever the Lord leads you to give, know that every gift becomes part of this mission to carry God's love, hope, and encouragement to people who desperately need to hear it. May the Lord bless you beyond anything you could imagine. May He multiply every seed you sow, open doors no one can shut, restore what's been lost, and fill your home with His peace, His favor, and His unfailing love. Thank you for standing with us as we continue sharing God's message with hearts around the world. Remember, dear soul, you are chosen, you are loved, you are seen, and heaven has not finished writing your story. You have been pouring into everyone else. Now someone is coming to pour into you. There is a kind of tiredness that doesn't come from lack of sleep. It comes from years of being the one who shows up, the one who holds things together when everything is threatening to fall apart.
The one who remembers what people need before they ask, who carries the emotional weight of a room without anyone noticing the effort, who gives and gives and gives with such consistency that the people around you have simply come to expect it, not out of malice, but because you made it look effortless. Because you always made it look effortless. And somewhere along the way, in all that giving, in all that caretaking and showing up and being strong for everyone else, something in you started quietly asking a question it never quite said out loud. When does someone do this for me? Not bitterly, not with resentment, though you'd be allowed to feel that too. Just honestly. Just the natural human exhaustion of someone who has been the steady one, the reliable one, the person everyone else leans on, wondering in the soft and private hours what it would feel like to be the one who gets to lean. That question is about to be answered. The arrival you weren't expecting. Here's the thing about love that comes at the right time. It rarely announces itself in advance. It doesn't send a calendar invitation or show up with a dramatic entrance that you can prepare for. It comes in through the ordinary, a moment, a meeting, a conversation that starts like any other, and then somehow ends differently. And you look up from whatever you were doing, whatever you were focused on, and realize something has shifted in the atmosphere of your life without you having consciously noticed the shift happening. That is what this feels like. You were not looking for this. You were not in the active searching mode that sometimes makes people miss the very thing they're hoping for because they're too busy scanning the horizon to notice what's standing right beside them. You were simply living focused on your work, your growth, your creative pursuits, the quiet and intentional life you've been building for yourself when this person appeared. And the arrival felt soft, gentle, like something that belonged there rather than something that demanded to be accommodated. Like a piece of furniture that you didn't know was missing until it was suddenly in the room, and then everything looked exactly right. You weren't ready for this, and that might be exactly why it finally came. What they saw when they looked at you, this person looked at you and noticed something that most people, even the ones who care about you, have consistently missed. They saw how much you carry, not just the visible things, the responsibilities, the projects, the goals you pursue with a precision and a detail orientation that is genuinely remarkable. They saw underneath those things to the person underneath the capability, to the human being who is in every practical sense incredibly competent and self-sufficient, but who is also quietly, privately longing to be seen, not for what they do, for who they are. Not for their strength, for their softness. And this person's response to seeing all of that was not to take advantage of it, was not to add themselves to the list of people, to the list who consume what you offer without considering the cost to you. Their response was something entirely different. Let me care for you. 3 words that might seem simple on the surface. But for someone who has spent years being the caretaker, the supporter, the one everyone else turns to, those 3 words land somewhere deeper than sentiment. They land in the part of you that has been quietly, patiently waiting for someone to say exactly that and mean it. This person means it. The long history of giving without receiving, let's stay here for a moment because this part matters. You have a history with love, with relationships and connections and friendships, where the dynamic was uneven in a way that you probably normalized over time. You were the one who understood, the one who made allowances, the one who showed up when you said you would, and held space for other people's difficulties and forgave quickly, and gave second chances and third ones and fourth ones, not because you were naive, but because that is genuinely who you are. And the people on the receiving end of that generosity, not all of them, but enough of them, didn't quite match it. They received what you gave without fully comprehending the gift of it. They leaned on you without thinking to ask whether you needed someone to lean on too. They took your steadiness for granted in the way that people take granted all the things that have always simply been there. You probably didn't make a lot of noise about this. You're not someone who demands acknowledgement or keeps score. But the body keeps its own kind of record. In the fatigue, in the guardedness, in the way you've become more selective about who you let close. In the quiet but firm commitment you've made to relationships and connections that genuinely support your peace rather than disrupt it. You have been doing the work of protecting your own nervous system, of choosing differently, of creating a life that is built on genuine safety rather than the exhausting performance of okayness that used to pass for peace. And this person is the energetic match for all of that work. The deep realization here is the insight that sits at the center of this whole story. The one that's that when it lands, changes the way you understand everything that has led to this moment. Everything you have ever poured into the world is coming back to you now. Not as a cosmic reward for good behavior. Not as something you earned by suffering enough, or waiting long enough, or finally getting it right. But as a natural consequence of who you are and the energy you have consistently put into the world, despite not always having it returned, you gave genuinely without hidden agendas, without keeping tabs, without requiring reciprocity before you were willing to offer care. You loved people fully, even when that love was met with less than it deserved. You showed up consistently, even when showing up cost you something real. And the universe, or whatever name you give to the force that governs the movement of things toward their natural home, has been listening to all of it, has been witnessing every act of generous love that went unacknowledged, and is now in this person handing it all back. This is not coincidence. This is completion. A loyalty you will not have to question. One of the most quietly revolutionary things about this connection is what it will not require from you. It will not require you to decode anything. You will not be lying awake at night trying to figure out what their mixed signals mean, or whether that message was intentional, or whether the space between their words carries some hidden meaning you're failing to read correctly. You will not be performing certainty you don't feel in order to seem unbothered by an uncertainty that is driving you quietly mad. This person has already decided. They have thought about this, about you, about what they want, about what they're offering, with the kind of deliberate seriousness that only comes from someone who treats commitment as a real responsibility rather than a romantic gesture. They are a planner in the most meaningful sense, not just in the logistical sense of organizing things and thinking ahead, though that too. But in the emotional sense, they have already considered the implications of loving you, already decided it's what they want, already oriented themselves toward building something that lasts. And the clarity of that, the simple, uncomplicated fact of knowing exactly where you stand, is going to feel like the first full breath you've taken in a very long time. They were looking for you. There is a narrative about love that most of us absorb without questioning it. The idea that finding your person requires you to search, to put yourself out there, to try, to look, to wait actively and with effort. And so we search, we scan, we move through the world with a kind of vigilance that is exhausting precisely because it never fully turns off. What this connection offers is the experience of being on the other side of that search for once. This person was the one searching, waiting, moving through their own experience and encounters with the quiet, persistent hope that somewhere there was someone whose depth matched theirs, whose authenticity was real rather than performed, whose capacity for genuine love was as large and as serious as their own. And then they found you. The reversal of that dynamic, being the one who is actively sought rather than the one always seeking, is something you may not have experienced before, or not often enough. Being chosen not because you pursued and convinced, but because someone looked at who you are and said, yes, that is exactly what I have been hoping for. That is its own kind of arrival. Its own kind of coming home. What rest actually feels like you. And I want you to actually picture this. Not just read it. Imagine falling asleep without the low-level hum of anxiety that has become so normal you barely notice it anymore. Without the part of your brain that monitors the state of your relationships while the rest of you is trying to rest. Without the subtle, chronic vigilance of someone who has learned that people require managing, that love requires maintenance, that connection requires constant effort to sustain. Imagine resting. Actually fully, completely resting. In someone's arms, or in the knowledge of their presence, or in the simple and profound certainty that someone in your life has you, the way you have always had everyone else. This is what this person brings. Not the absence of challenge, not a perfectly frictionless life, but a relationship in which your nervous system is not constantly activated, in which safety is the baseline rather than something you have to earn or maintain or negotiate for, in which being loved does not require you to manage how you're perceived or carefully calibrate how much of yourself you reveal, in which you can finally just be. The empress has been waiting to come home. There is a version of you full, abundant, creative, nourished, rested, completely and unapologetically yourself, that has not had room to fully exist because you have been busy making room for everyone else. That version is the empress. Not a fantasy version of you, not a future you that requires more discipline or more achievement or more self-improvement. The current you, given the conditions to simply be rather than constantly do, given care, given rest, given provision and support, and the radical experience of someone who wants to see you thrive, not because of what you produce, but because of who you are. This person is those conditions made human. They are the environment in which the fullest version of you comes possible. They are not coming to complete you. You are already whole. They are coming to witness the wholeness that already exists and to love it without reservation. You do not have to earn this. That might be the hardest thing to hear. Harder than any of the rest of it. Because you have spent so long associating love with effort, with showing up and giving and proving and being useful, that love which simply arrives, which requires nothing from you except your willingness to receive it, might feel almost suspicious. Might feel like something you should be working harder for, or something that comes with a catch you haven't discovered yet. There is no catch. You simply, exactly, presently you are what this person wants. Not a future version. Not a version that has healed more, accomplished more, become less. This version. The one reading these words right now, tired in the specific way that only the most generous people get tired, wondering quietly whether anyone will ever love you the way you have loved others. Someone is coming to answer that question. Let them. Open the door. Don't shrink. Don't deflect. Don't minimize what is being offered or talk yourself out of deserving it. Just receive. For once, after all of it, just receive.